WRTR Real Talk Radio. Featured guest DJs. Original shows. Music news. The hottest DJs from around the world.
What would you rather say?
Go ahead, say it.
You think I already got the thing going? Just record it. Start the show.
I'm just saying. What was you gonna say?
No, I was just saying that it might it's thunderstorming over here. So yeah.
Yeah, look, y'all, thanks for clicking play. And welcome to a new week here on WRTR Real Talk Radio. So let me preface this by the fact that the Maryland area, DC area, we are under a severe storm watch right now. So internet may or may not work for one or the more of us. So in the event that it does, love you, mean it. We'll see y'all next week, all of that. So my name is Marcus Smoot. Thanks for coming back.
My name is Miss Leg Bravado, and thank y'all for tuning in.
Hey, miss your boy Tigger, man. Thanks for tuning in to hear me.
What? Okay, sure.
What does that say? What does that say on the screen? Did you type that out on purpose? This boy.
Wait, it says click at that nigga. Oh, okay.
That's what we doing.
Apparently,
Okay.
so. All right, so let's kick it off. What's your mood given this week, Miss Lyric?
My mood is given tired and tired.
You sound like you kind of tired.
Yeah, I'm tired physically and mentally.
How about socially?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Actually,
What about?
no, not yet.
Well, on that note, I am just wonderful.
We didn't ask pick of that nigga. I mean, how you know I ain't gonna go?
I mean, hey, you ain't saying that, so hey.
It's fine. What's been going on in your world? Anything interesting?
But you still ain't tell how you was feeling.
You typically don't, because I mean, who cares? But
We care.
No, I mean,
so how you? What's your mood?
Hello.
Okay, so I'm in an enlightened mood, and one of the reasons that I'm in an enlightened mood is because of just the personal work I've been doing on myself, and that whole exercise thing to write a letter to your younger self. Because I write, because I'm a writer, it's a thing of where when I write, I'm always conscious of my audience. And I wrote this letter, beautiful letter to myself, to my younger self. But I catered it in a way that I don't speak to myself now. So it was like, I need to do better by myself in my mind. I need not to beat myself down so much. I need to remember that same little boy is still there, and I have to cater the things that are going around. I don't have to basically beat myself up so much. So I'll try to get better with the whole mood thing. So enlightened is my mood. I'm going with that. So
I like to hear that.
I appreciate it. So we're going to do the black fact for the week.
Sure.
Alrighty, what you got?
Sure. Let's see. I can go first. And if you guys did not know already, even though I already knew this, but maybe some people who are listening to this did not know. Did you know that HOAs were first created to help keep Black people out of neighborhoods?
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people didn't know that. The Homeowners Association was first developed in the U.S. during the mid-19th century. However, didn't gain popularity until the 1960s. HOA popularity was driven by a rapid growth in suburban growth and a desire by white Americans to ensure they lived in a majority white neighborhood. After Shelley versus Kramer, right, in 1948, which declared enforcement of racially restrictive covenants illegal, along with subsequent school desecration cases throughout the 1950s and 60s caused HOAs to skyrocket in popularity. HOA brought the promise of exclusion with them. That exclusion took place by using in-person prospective resident interviews, minimum credit score requirements, mandatory background checks, and de facto zoning through the enforcement of prohibitory, expensive design and maintenance codes.
So that is completely on brand with everything that they give when you think about it, because I mean, I guess I knew, but I guess I didn't know that it was like so outlandish. But when you think about HOA, what they stand for, and the bullshit that you got to deal with them, it makes complete sense. So, yeah. Ticket man,
and that's why when I buy a house, I refuse to live in a place where they have that shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I feel like a lot of them nowadays, it's like, even when I was buying my condo, it was a thing of where you had, like, there was no option not to have the HOA. And like the limit, it was very, very few options for homes with HOA. Do you remember that whole thing, Ticket Man, when I was house shopping? And I was like going through all this stuff, and I was trying to find a place that didn't have an HOA because I didn't want to pay HOA fees. Anyways.
Y'all. All right, I guess I'll go next. So last month, Master Chief William Harvey Goings, the first African-American Navy SEAL, passed away. He was an original inaugural member of the Navy SEAL team when it was first formed under President John F. Kennedy. Wow. He was also a descendant of 2 Civil War Union soldiers.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Rest in peace to him.
He was the first he was the first African-American Navy SEAL.
Wow.
Yeah, and he just passed last month.
Why I feel like everybody great is going away. You know what I'm saying? Like, wow, we've lost a lot of icons this year. Oh, I said icon.
Richard Simmons,
what you got? And what you got?
All right, so this week I want to talk about historian Antoinette Harrell, who has been she's been basically digging up some serious dirt and found out Black folks were still living as slaves well into the 1960s. So
what?
Yeah, you heard me. More than 100 years after the Emancipation Proclamation, she uncovered stories from Louisiana, Mississippi, and Arkansas where our people were forced to work like slaves, tortured, and even raped. So it's insane that.
But you know what's funny about that? Sorry to cut you off, but remember that movie Antebellum? That was in the 1960s.
It truly was. But I mean, I guess for me, this story kind of like struck a chord because you never really think, or when you think about slavery and you think about the circumstances and everything, I know for me personally, I don't always think of it as a time that my own parents were alive. So to hear this in the midst of where they were very much so born, it's just like, how far removed are we from it? Because look at even the things that we are seeing and witnessing and being a part of today. And yeah, I'll get into more of that during my segment, but yeah.
Oh no, my bad. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't Antebellum. It was the movie that Keke Palmer played in. Keke Palmer and
I did not know.
Yeah, she was her and her family was on that plantation or whatever, and the whole time this was like in the 1960s, if I'm not mistaken. And
I know what movie you're talking about.
When she escaped, she ran into what's the rapper name that played in it that helped her out? The one that's dating Jennifer Hudson.
Common.
He was in it with her. Yeah.
But it was in the Antebellum movie too, because
it was an
I read the same article that Marcus read, and the family in 1960 wasn't able to leave their land, and when they finally left their land, they realized that times had changed, and us niggas was walking around like you was free.
Yeah, it talks about
you talking about you ain't free. Slavery been over. They all son. Yeah, that was in the movie too.
Yeah.
I mean, the article talks about May Lewis Walls Miller. She was basically stuck in a plantation until 1963 because
that's crazy.
They were tricked into debt. I mean, you know, that they could never escape. So, and that they could never repay. They forced beatings, or
rape,
and all of this.
That is crazy.
Like in like my mom and them was up and moving around as babies and stuff.
My mom and my father.
Yep. Same.
Wow,
crazy.
That's just
crazy.
Anyways,
yeah.
So on that wonderful note, I guess we'll get into y'all's listener letters up next. So if it were lyric, we'll be right back.
Meg Thee Stallion called somebody out for smoking at her concert, and that has started the monthly debate between weed whackers and those who don't like gardening, if you catch my drift. Personally, I'm friends with Wanna, okay? That bitch ain't never done me wrong. We don't have a codependent relationship. We are copacetic. I don't typically debate with non-smokers because I don't really give a fuck. Oh, y'all are fiends. It's not ladylike, baby. I'm built like a joint. It's meant to be. Fuck all that shit. But there is also a such thing as tree etiquette. For instance, I don't smoke around pregnant people or children. That's just a given. Nor do I do it in rooms where other people are present unless they do it too, or they say that it's explicitly okay. This includes parks, concerts, and other venues. Now, I do like to be lifted at certain events. I was at the Meg Thee Stallion concert, but that's why edibles exist. Smoke can trigger certain conditions. Bitches got asthma. I've left concerts with a headache because of excessive smoke. It ain't that deep. Take an edible. And lastly, breaks are good. Barring medical reasons, if you find that you can't not smoke, then you may have a little dependence, and that's why you can't go anywhere without doing it, friend.
Maybe not what you should do, but definitely she would if it were lyric.
Hey guys, it's your girl Miss Lyric, and thanks for tuning into my segment for If It Were Lyric, where I discuss all of your relationship, situationship, and friendship advice, and I give my 2 cents about it. If you guys want to continue sending me stories and situations and all that good stuff, please send me an email to my lyricbravado@gmail.com email address, and you can also DM me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Lyric Bravado. And now I will go first. I have an anonymous one, and it reads, How do I tell my sister that her visiting with my niece isn't a break from parenting? I live across the country, and they come visit every summer. I love my niece, but I've noticed that when they are here, my sister kind of opts out of parenting. Now, mind you, they stay around 2 to 3 weeks. She won't feed my niece, cook dinner or breakfast, shower her, plan activities, or do anything to keep her engaged. She will put it all on me. And in her mind, she's just a passenger. And since they're at my house, it's my show. I mean, I will plan some activities and fun things, but I found that even outside of those times, I'm handling everything. And she's kind of on vacation mode as a parent. I get no downtime. I fall behind on work and in school. I don't have kids. And as much as I love my niece, there's a reason why I don't have children right now. I work from home and I'm in school full time. I love when they visit, but I want to enjoy my niece as my niece, not as her parent. How do I tell her this without hurting her feelings? That I do not want to be her parent. I just want to be her aunt. Tell her. You just have a conversation with her. Be like, look, I love that y'all come over. I love spending time with you, and I love spending time with my niece. However, y'all are guests, and I am not the babysitter. I'm her aunt, and I don't mind helping you. However, this is not the time for you to be slacking and act like you're on total vacation mode. That's your child at the end of the day. I am her aunt, and you are her mother. And you
don't think that'll make it like awkward or whatever, like the whole rest of the visit?
Listen, the time to be closing your mouth and biting your tongue is over. Start being upfront and tell people how you feel. Now, it's a way to say things, you know what I'm saying, without being too harsh, but you still have to like open your mouth and start speaking up for yourself, because you cannot keep taking on other people's issues at your own demise, if you get what I'm saying. Like, it's cool that they visit, but at the same time, if it's starting to interfere with your livelihood, then there's a problem there. Because who's to say that you start getting in trouble at work and they start saying something to you because you're falling behind there? That affects your livelihood. Because after they leave, you're still going to have to pick up the pieces from that.
Pick up the pieces.
I cannot.
And even at school, that's something that you strive to do. You worked hard to get back and start, you know, going back to school full time, and you're slacking in those classes. That's messing up your livelihood. No. You need to explain to her that, you know, these are the conditions of what's going to happen when they come visit, because at the end of the day, it's your house and you make the rules, period. And if they can't abide by that, then, hey, I'm sorry, sis, this summer's not a good look. I'm busy with this, that, and the third.
Mm-hmm.
Set boundaries for yourself. And don't let people set your own boundaries for you in your own house.
You know what? I hate when I feel like, you know, someone's taking advantage of me, or when like people don't give me options on things that I'm already being kind about. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always feel like when I'm being taken advantage of, when my kindness is being taken advantage of, it's a trigger to me, or, you know, it's a trigger. Like, it will set me off. So I feel you on that.
No, definitely have to set boundaries, whether it's friends, family members, or anything in between. Like, you have the right to be comfortable in your space, and you have the right to feel how you feel. So that's my advice on that.
All righty. I guess I'll go next.
Sure.
All right. So I love when I receive letters from, or when we get letters from listeners that write how they type. I mean, write how they talk. I love that, because it's so funny. All right, so this one says, "Dear Lyric, girl, let me tell you, moving to Magnolia Springs, Georgia, has been one wild ride. I've only been here for a hot minute, and I already feel like I'm living in a soap opera. You know how I was excited about joining the New Hope Baptist Church. Okay, didn't mean to say that name out loud, but okay. Well, honey, sit down, because you're not going to believe this. So it turns out the pastor, oh God, she gave like actual names to these people. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to change the names.
Just say the initial.
All right. So it turns out Pastor J had been a little too friendly with Sister M, if you catch my drift. The whisper started when she began driving a brand new Mercedes. And let me just say, the congregation generosity doesn't stretch that far. Then there's Deacon Dub, who has been skimming off the offering plate to fund his little side hustle, selling knockoff designer bags out the church basement. Can you believe that? And let's not even get started at the choir director. She's been using the church for her personal errands. Rumor has it those errands involve picking up gentlemen callers from the bus station and other things.
Shut up. This is not real.
This is what she wrote in. I'm beyond scandalized. I came here looking for a place to worship and connect with the community, but instead I walked into a real life episode of As the Church Turns. What should I do? Should I confront these folks and risk becoming the next topic of church gossip, or should I quietly find another church and let the drama unfold without me? How would you handle it if it were you? Help a sister out. Love and sass, Tamika.
Girl, just mind your business and find you another church home, because obviously that you can't even call that a church at this point. That's a house of drama. That's not a house of the Lord. That's a house of they gonna do what they want to do when they want to do it.
That sounds like a Tyler Perry movie.
It's just not. It's giving Greenleaf episode.
Yes, Greenleaf. Yes.
Season 3. That's what it's giving. And
what's Greenleaf?
You ain't never seen Greenleaf?
What?
No.
Greenleaf is it's a series about church drama, and
that's why I haven't
all
seen
that.
it.
Everything that she described in that letter has happened in that Greenleaf and worse.
Oh, wow.
They done had murder, all types of wild stuff in that.
Yeah, all type of scandals.
Scandals after scandals after scandals. So yeah, just find you another church home to go to. Like, I mean, it sounds to me like you really don't want to go nowhere. Like you want to sit around and watch it unfold, but girl, it's not going to do you no good. You don't really know any of those people. You just moved there, so
mind your business.
Don't start that, and then get your name involved in some shit, and then you gonna have to respond in a way that ain't Baptist or Christian like. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you want to put your name in the mix or be nosy about something that ain't got nothing to do with you, and probably has been going on since before you moved there. So there's no reason for you to involve yourself in that, girl. Just move on. Like, move on.
Yeah, she probably heard all that from somebody else that goes to that church. It's like, girl, let me fill you in on the drama in this church. And that's what that was.
Yeah.
Listen, if y'all said this happened on a TV show, well, see, when you lost me at church drama, because no. But the thing is, like, if this is something that's actually happening in people's like when I read this, I thought this was an anomaly, but y'all telling me it's just another Sunday. So I mean,
in some churches, I mean, people have to remember when it comes to churches, we're still imperfect people. So you know what I'm saying? Of course, we hold people who go to church and have certain church roles to a higher standard. However, they're still imperfect people.
Little do you know.
They're still imperfect people. And so you have to be realistic nowadays, especially when it comes to certain scandals. Now it's getting to the point where I am not even like surprised, because I'm like, first of all, there's always going to be some red flags. Especially when it comes to the pastors fucking off on the congregation. There's always going to be signs. Y'all just choose to duck and dodge all the signs. Like, he's always gonna be a little too friendly, and hey, why don't you come back in my office, and y'all there for a little too long. Like, yeah, there's always gonna be signs, and somebody has always seen something. But see, a lot of times what happens is certain people, like leadership in the church, they'll cover that and they won't say anything. They'll see it, but they won't say anything. And that's wrong. Like, no.
Yeah, but when she said people in the basement though, like you bumping uglies in the house of the Lord.
First of all,
you know what? Go off this, do you? Go off.
You'd be appalled at any of the stories that I could tell you about stuff like that. You'd be appalled. I know for a fact that how old was I? I can't even remember, man. I was 13 or something. The church used to have youth lock-ins. Now, I don't know if you used to know about those, but yeah, there were people during those times at the church. Yeah, so they had to shut that shit down immediately.
Not bukkake in the Baptist church basement. That sounds like a bad porn. I hate it. I'm
serious. So it is what it is. Yeah. But hopefully you can find you a church home where, the whisperings are down to a bare minimum. But just know that anywhere you go, nothing's going to be perfect. But that's a bit much.
Something's going to be going on.
Yeah.
That's
a bit much, though. That's a bit much.
So I got one. This one is coming from Lil Durrell.
Oh, hell.
Lil Durrell.
Y'all be trolling.
Dear Larry, I've been having an issue lately involving my mother. It feels like she isn't really my mother, but someone who thinks we're best friends. It's like she never really grew out of her high school days, and I'm almost 30. Ooh. I'll have days at work where she texts to tell me about her day or her recent struggles, or she asks me to find furniture that would interest her. I feel awkward answering her questions and wish I had a parent to talk with about some of my issues instead of feeling like I'm the more mature one. She telling me that only I know what she likes when I know her taste changes on a dime. She doesn't speak to me the way most mothers talk to their sons. It's more like how two teens at school talk to each other. I know she has been through a lot, so it's not that I want to ignore her. I don't know what to say because I don't know how to talk to this person anymore. I'm tired of feeling my stomach sick. Every time I have to respond to her. What should I do?
Grow up. That's what you need to do. Because you sound petty as fuck. First of all, that is still your mom. You talk to her regular. Like, what are you talking about here? What are we talking about here? What do you mean? First of all, the relationship dynamic is automatically going to change because you're grown. She's raised you into the man that you are. So you can't expect her to, talk to you like, you know what I'm saying? You're 5. What are you talking about? Of course your conversation is going to change. That's common sense.
I would hope so.
It's going to be more mature. So. Look at you like an adult because she raised you to be an adult. What do you mean? You can talk to your mom. She can still give you advice, and that don't mean she got to mother you and smother you. Like, I'm not sure what you're expecting, but as we get older, yes, our parents turn into our friends. Yes, they're still our parent. However, they're able to open up to us more because we're on the same level as them. We're adults. We're all adults. So that dynamic changes. And I don't understand what he's talking. He sounds weird. Like, and then for you to say your name is Little Daryl, for you to write in and say Little Daryl, that lets me know where your man is. Like, grow up, sir, because no grown man should be called Little Daryl. Okay?
Somebody needs a tea.
Like,
somebody's fussy. Time for a nap.
He wants his sassy. He wants his sassy. No, bro. Like, come on, yo. Stop doing your mother like that, because let's be clear. It sounds like y'all have a good relationship. I don't know what you're confused on as far as the conversation is concerned. But let's be clear. You only get one. So still honor her while she's here, because everybody can't say that. Everybody's mom is not present in their life, either physically, mentally, whatever the case may be. So stop being petty with her. Like, just talk to her regular. It'll all work itself out. You're thinking too hard on the situation, sir. Grow up. And that's all the advice that I have for you guys today. Please continue to send your advice questions to me to my Gmail at legbravato@gmail.com, or you can DM me, like I said, on my social medias, which is Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Till next time. Bye.
All righty. We trolling. Tick Man, you ready? All right. We'll be right back. That did not sound enthusiastic.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is a perfect example of when you poke the wrong bear and you try the wrong bitch. I just find it funny that white women are constantly coddled and protected and granted the ability to come for black women unwarranted. Just in case you slow or don't know, yesterday Marjorie Taylor Greene thought it was a smart idea to come for smoking hot, cook your ass like a crockpot Jasmine Crockett, and she got her ass cooked, okay? Her meat was falling off the motherfucking bone. After that roasted, Marjorie Taylor Greene couldn't even pick up her face because her face was on the fucking ground. Her face was melted.
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling, if someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
My problem is, why does the chairman want to strike what Jasmine Crockett said? Boom, Marjorie Taylor was the one who started the shit. Okay, you don't start no shit, won't be none, bitch. I'm glad that Jasmine took it to Twitter to speak her piece, because they love to try to silence a black woman's experience. Representative Crockett tweeted, "So Marjorie Taylor wanted to talk about my appearance in committee. It's against the rules to do so. She refused to apologize. The chairman ruled it was okay." And I asked for clarification. What qualifies as engaging in personalities, and basically wanted to know if I could talk shit about her appearance as well. Y'all know what she looked like, right? Pause. I know what she looked like, and I'll testify. She is bad built. Her stomach is shaped like a sack of laundry. Her stomach looked like balled up homework. She got bad skin. She got bad hair. Her ends are split to the motherfucking root. Jasmine told no lie. Shame the damn devil. Let's continue. This is what happens when mentally deficient people who can't read or follow the rules, don't give a damn, somehow end up in Congress. Woo! Girl, you said a word, and that's how the fuck you stay on business. I want everybody who agrees with what Representative Jasmine Crockett said, I want you to stand up wherever you are and give God 5 minutes of the goddamn glory.
If it's on your timeline, he's already seen it. Time to troll with Tigger Man.
Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to a new segment of Trolling with your boy Tigger Man. Now I know when you hear trolling, you're thinking about gossip, celebrity gossip. But it includes celebrity gossip, but it also includes international news, local news, and what might be going on in your bedroom. How about that? Whatever. But anyway, we're going to start with Drake. So Drake's mansion has been impacted by the severe weather in Toronto.
Listen, if Lightning Rod was a person, it would be Drake. Because he still keep getting struck with lightning, over and over and over.
Yes, it has his mansion looking like a water park, minus the fun. He just recently posted a video on social media of what it looks like brown liquid water running through his house, through his mansion. I said, dang.
It does suck. I mean, not only do you have everybody and they mama walking around calling you BBL Drizzy, right, but now on top of that, now your couch swim, the whole sofa floating down,
And he didn't even seem fazed by it at all. He probably was like, oh, that's not, I get this, I get all this, I got the money for it, I get all this up, or whatever. But yeah, it looked like a whole water park in his mansion.
It's cool to fountain. It's okay to fountain.
A brown, dirty water.
Gross.
Anyways, next up we got Diddy. So Diddy is being sued again for sexual assault and sex trafficking.
Of course
again. And this will be by a female.
Go ahead.
This will be by a female named Audria English. She filed a lawsuit against him last week regarding the whole sexual assault and sex trafficking. So now, since she filed this, she's getting a lot of interview requests from a lot of media people, whatever, getting interview requests, and she has a long line of requests that she is asking for in order for them to interview her.
What?
She has a list of demands. Yes. The first demand is she wants 2 first-class flights from LA to New York for herself and her husband, and also 2 separate flights for her attorneys.
Wow.
Then
is this for interviews or is this for
interviews?
Interviews.
Then she's requiring a 2-night stay in a 4-star hotel, preferably with a breakfast included.
Okay.
Before the interviews begins, she wants her hair, makeup, and wardrobe services from specific vendors, plus meals and snacks throughout the day of the shootings. We can't hear you, Lyric.
Oh, sorry.
Who are we talking about now? Because I just had to drop in.
Okay. Well, Diddy's being sued again for sexual assault and sex trafficking by a female named Audria English.
Girl.
And she's getting a lot of interview requests. And she has a list of demands that she's requesting in order to be interviewed.
And those are the demands.
And those are the demands. Yes. And so a lot of them declined it. They said, no, we're not doing all that.
But you know what? A lot of people want to know, but she's trying to get in where she fit. I mean, honestly, I I'm not going to speak too hard on it, but what I will say is that, I mean, it is a big story. It's huge. I mean, Diddy been, Diddying for years unscathed, and nobody's talked. And now that people are talking, a lot of these stories are coming to the surface. I'm not going to victim blame, not going to say nothing, but those are some pretty hefty demands there. Sis. Yeah. Pretty hefty.
And speaking of sexual assaults, Murder Inc. Records mogul Irv Gotti is being accused of sexually assault by a woman who claims she dated him for 2 years. According to the court documents, they said that oh gosh, so the person who's suing, she named herself Jane Doe because she don't want everybody to know her name. So she's named Jane Doe. She said that they met through a mutual friend at a poker tournament in the summer of 2020, and he took her on a tropical vacation to St. Martin. Upon arrival, the woman claims Gotti threatened to send her home if she didn't have sex with him. She says she complied. She says she complied due to his power and influence in the music world. The woman says she continued to date Gotti into January 2022, when he flew her out to Miami, and the two stayed at a four-season hotel where she claims Gotti forced her to perform oral sex on him in the elevator.
Wow. That is... Wow.
I swear, these girls be killing me.
How? Wait, what do you mean?
Come on.
What?
She was gonna have. What? Well, no, it was wrong for what he did to her. If he did those things to her, or made her do these things, but she knew what she was doing.
So what about?
She knew what she was doing.
What?
She knew what she was doing. Allegedly.
Can we please throw in that word?
Allegedly. She knew what she was doing. Grief. You gonna hop on the plane and go. You just met this man. You gonna hop on the plane and go to freaking St. Martin with him?
So he's rich. He's a mogul. A lot of y'all are hopping on planes.
And there were already rumors going around about him anyway.
But regardless, a lot of y'all are hopping on planes for less, and now we want to side eye her because her thing got exposed.
I'm not gonna say I'm not really side eyeing her, but. You hear rumors. You hear. Anyways, okay. Anyways,
first of all, ain't nothing free. Let's be frank about it. Period. Ain't nothing for free.
Period.
And ain't no fucking rich guy just putting you on no plane, sending you to no private island like that with the notion that that nothing is gonna happen. Y'all gotta use y'all common sense.
Exactly.
Like, come on, for real. I'm not blaming or nothing like that. But stop putting yourself in certain situations to have fuckery happen to you.
And he already had a bad rap anyway. So, girl, what was you doing? But anyway, on to the next. Now we have Erica Mena and Safari. Yes. So Erica Mena had a lot to say after her ex-husband Safari Samuels said his breakup with Nicki Minaj was the biggest trouble he's had to overcome. So like a week ago, he was on a podcast called We in Miami, and the host asked him what was the biggest struggle or obstacle he'd ever had to overcome was. And he responded that after his breakup with Nicki Minaj, her fans and certain people wanted to be like, oh, okay, they're not together no more. Fuck him. Let him be nothing. Let him disintegrate. Let him disappear. But 9 to 10 years later, he was like, I'm still here, and some people don't like it. And when Erica Mena heard that, because she didn't have these kids by him and he been cheating on her and they didn't got a divorce and all this other stuff. So when she heard that, she jumped in there and she was like, well, I will forever be embarrassed. I gave sis these incredible, beautiful babies, and he don't even talk or care about his seeds this much online or in real life. So that's what she had to say about him.
Good, but let me ask this: what can we do about it?
Exactly.
Take that shit to court. Don't take that shit to Instagram.
Exactly.
Because I can't with that. And even if he said that's how he felt.
That's how he felt.
He was with Nicki Minaj for years. You wasn't even a fart to him.
Yes. A fart. Ice Spice.
She wasn't. She was like, he was with Nicki for years. Yeah. I want to say almost like 10 years or something. He was with her for a long time.
Writing her music for
his life. Yeah, he has the right to feel like that. So what? And he was intertwined with her music. I know he helped write some of her lyrics and all of that stuff. He got the right to feel like that. Why are you
Exactly.
Take
That's
that
what
shit
I said.
to court, not
court.
to Instagram.
And keep it on and keep it moving. Next, we have a veteran Death Row Records rapper. Remember the Lady of Rage? I rough and stuff with my
I already know what you're gonna say, and I'm watching it.
She has a new movie on the horizon, but any mind reader worth their metal already knows that, and she's playing the late controversial TV psychic Miss Cleo.
And I'm watching it because Miss
Call me now for your free reading.
I was on punishment for 3 months because of that bitch. That bitch got me in trouble.
Yeah, Lifetime unleashed the trailer for Miss Cleo, her rise and fall, with the Afro Puffs rapper transforming into the tarot card rating single mother who had the infomercial game on lock in the late 90s, in which she did, because my mama was calling her.
I want my money back, bitch.
And my mama, and the funny thing about it, my mom said everything she said was true.
Yep. It was, though, but bitch, how come you couldn't see that I was going to be on punishment for calling this fucking line? That shit was not free.
Right. I said, I gotta watch that. I definitely.
It was something always hokey. Like for me to watch Miss Cleo, it was always something very hokey about her. She'd be like, "Call me now." I was like,
"Call me now for your free reading," and she didn't even have an accent.
Yeah.
She was American.
No, but she used to have she used to have the people like the
live testimonial
shit come.
The live testimonial.
Yeah, I called Miss Cleo and she said my husband was cheating. 2 weeks later.
He was cheating
with Miss Cleo. It's like, no.
Yes. Okay, next up.
Man.
Yeah. Next up, we have Kiki Wyatt. She just confirmed of her divorce by her third husband, Zachariah Dern. She said that she's happy she is divorced. She's so happy she's divorced and free from the bondage and abuse. So she's happy about that. So she said, what the hell she say too? I forgot. Oh, she mentioned her 11 kids. She with her 11 kids. She said,
11.
Yes, 11 kids. And matter of fact, hold on, she's pregnant again. If I'm not mistaken, she's supposed to be pregnant again. I don't know. She stayed fertile.
No, she's not pregnant again. That was an old picture. I had to dig.
Oh, okay.
I researched.
Okay. Well, yeah. So it's her and her 11 kids, and she said she is happy taking care of her 11 kids by herself. She is not struggling at all, and so on. So congrats to her.
But we knew that already, though,
right?
Because you was caught at the bowling alley making a drop in front of that young, tall, brown-skinned man that you was hugged up with like some tramp.
Exactly. About to get pregnant again.
We knew what it was.
About to get pregnant again.
Yeah.
Okay. Now next we have
dropping ass in my house.
Next we have Marcus White. Remember the Maryland teacher that went viral on social media for letting the children take out his hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he went on social media and let everybody know that after, what was it, 4 months or so, he's now able to go back to work.
Excellent.
They are
And
allowing him to go back to work now.
Is that because of the court of public opinion?
Mm-hmm,
is that because of the court of public opinion?
Yep.
Yeah, that would be us.
Yep.
You're welcome.
Yep. So he is back at work now.
Yeah, because that. The very next week, you had all the white girls and shit bedazzling that white principal's bald head and shit with all them sparkles. Ain't nobody said nothing to him. Nothing about that shit. Nobody tried to take his motherfucking job.
Right.
Amen.
Exactly.
Amen.
So, I want to say rest in peace to 2 people. One, Richard Simmons, who passed away at the age of 76 years old.
Wow.
And then also Miss Prue Hollowell for the 2nd time. Shannon Doherty, who played Prue on Charmed. I just call her Prue Hollowell. So she passed away at age 53. I know she was battling cancer.
And this one, Dr. Ruth too. She passed away the same day.
Yep.
Who was that?
The sex therapist.
Oh, I don't know her.
What? Oh, you're so rude.
Rest in peace, Dr. Ruth.
Yeah, she's a big deal.
Rest in peace, Dr. Ruth. Rest in peace.
Her old name.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. With Richard Simmons, I just when I remember Richard Simmons, I always flash back to that commercial he had where he was talking about sweating to the oldies. And you had them 2 real big people that they put right in the front. One was black, one was white. And I just remember them.
You get on my nerves.
First of all, we had that cassette tape. And I was many afternoons in my mama's living room dancing with fucking Richard Simmons. Getting my body together.
1, 2, 1 and 2.
Me and my sister.
And 2. Push.
That shit used to be fun though, because I don't know, he just had a great spirit about him. You know what I'm saying? He was very encouraging. He encouraged all of our fat asses to unbig our backs.
Exactly.
I cannot. Okay, and then we have Pepper from Salt and Pepper. She got kicked off of Southwest Airlines, and it wasn't her fault. I heard about this. Yeah. So she bought 2 seats on a plane because of her knees. She got bad knees from some car accidents she had that messed up her knees. So she had a brace on her leg also. And she bought 2 seats next to each other, so I guess she'll have room to stretch out her legs or whatever. So she was on the plane sitting. I guess there was another person who they had to have been someone who what do you call the ones that'll sit and wait to see if it's enough space on the plane in order to get on the plane?
The wait list niggas?
Yeah, I guess he was on the wait list or whatever. And so supposedly he had a funeral to get to. So he asked her when he got on the plane. Well, they saw that she had 2 seats, and they was like, "Well, hold on, maybe she'll let him get this seat or whatever." And so he got on the plane, and they was trying to see if she would give him the seat, and she was like, "No, my legs are messed up. I bought these 2 seats, so no, I'm sorry," or whatever. And so I guess because she refused to, she was going back and forth with the people. They escorted her right off their plane.
Wow.
Which one was this now?
Southwest Airlines. Yes, they escorted her off the plane. So of course she went on social media and trashed Southwest. She went off.
Of course.
She went off. I said that's crazy.
Yeah, American Airlines just did the same thing to a military girl. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what I was going to talk about too.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, if you want to get into it, but I wanted to just point out that at the same time that this was trending, the story about her, they also started, I guess somebody kind of put this meme out with this heavyset white woman, and it was like, oh, well, she bought 2 seats. Because basically because she right, she was like, oh well, she bought 2 seats because she's fat, and that's how it was peddled, of course. Oh well, she's fat and bought 2 seats, so you gonna make her give up her seat, blah blah blah.
Exactly.
And of course, the internet is divided. And you got one people, half saying one thing, half saying the other. So what do y'all think? I mean, in my opinion, she bought 2 seats. Leave her alone.
Leave her alone. She paid for it.
Because you're not going, at the end of the day, if she's not going to get a refund for the seat.
Yeah.
Cemetery.
But they did say she got refunded her. They refunded her money back though.
I'm sure they had to.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's a celebrity, but everybody can't say that because this girl, she's in the military, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she bought a first class ticket. They overbooked the flight and gave her seat away to a white lady. Right?
Oh hell no!
Right. Whoa. She already paid for her fucking ticket.
Oh hell
paid
no!
For that shit.
Nope.
They had the white lady in there. They refused to move the white lady out of the seat.
Oh, I would have went off.
Then
I went off too.
They said, "Okay, since we can't move the lady out of the seat, we will give you a whole row to yourself in exchange." She said, "Okay." Don't y'all know that another white couple came along and said, "Hey, we need your seats," picked up her bags that she had. This white lady sat her shit on the motherfucking floor. And proceeded to sit in her goddamn row.
Oh, we wouldn't have been going nowhere. We wouldn't have been going nowhere.
And the same thing happened to her. She had to be escorted off the fucking plane.
Oh, we wouldn't have been going nowhere. I would have went off. I would have went off.
That is that privilege. That's that privilege to where they feel like they can reach over and turn your vents off, or they can like all of that. All of these microaggressions that they have is again a condition of their privilege. I'm over it. I hate it.
All right. Last but not least, we have Nicki Minaj. Fans are pissed off at her. After they paid big money for her tickets, only for her to show up over 90 minutes late for her Dublin concert, leaving them stranded in the rain. The rapper was supposed to rock Malachi Castle at 8 p.m. on a Saturday as part of the European tour of her Pink Friday 2. And instead, she walked on stage just before 10 p.m. and played for less than an hour. Not even that. During her brief set, Nicki kept vanishing for ages thanks to endless costume changes, all while fans shivered away in the rain.
Girl, please.
I said, girl, get it together. Get it together. But anyway, that wraps it up for this week's segment of Trolling with your boy, Tigger Man.
Alrighty, I guess I'm up next. I'll call it Ear in Distress. Up next.
I'm still a bit baffled by self-sabotaging minorities. Because on one hand, there are those who know that they've aligned themselves with parties that hate them, but they've somehow just made themselves okay with it. For instance, I just watched a video of an Asian Trump supporter who was being confronted with all the racist things that Trump has said about Asian communities. And when pressed about how he can continue to support somebody who is clearly prejudiced against Asian people, he stuttered through some explanation about how deep down Trump isn't actually racist. He just wants the best for this country. Meaning that he is so dedicated to the other parts of Trump's bigoted platform that he has made himself okay with anti-Asian racism. Then you have those who are somehow oblivious to the fact that conservatives hate them until they have an experience that brings that hatred further to the forefront. Like that Hispanic family that went viral for moving their family from California to Idaho because they wanted a place that better suited their conservative politics. Then they were startled when they got to Idaho and realized that the conservatives there were racist and anti-immigration. You align yourselves with conservatives politically, yet you didn't know that one of their primary stances is to be anti-immigration. I think I'll go skydiving tomorrow with nothing but my titties as a parachute and then act surprised when I hit the ground.
Marcus has your glimpse into a world without seasoning.
All right, so this week, let's get this on the ear way.
I cannot. Over.
Ear in Distress is what I'm gonna call it this week. So for context, y'all, I want to discuss. The lyric is falling out. All right, I want to discuss the events that happened in Pennsylvania this past weekend at the so-called assassination attempt on Trump. So it was sort of like something you would watch like on a bad reality TV show. So like picture like a wannabe James Bond tripping over his shoelaces before he even got close, and then just like some clumsy, dumbass looking Secret Service niggas trying to attack him and tackle him to the ground and get him to like, this is what all played out on TV in our faces. And everybody like that I know was like, some fuckery is afoot. And I don't know, it's weird. So I mean, I guess I want to just have an open discussion. So you watched what I watched, correct? Both of y'all saw everything.
Well, my son saw it first in our house, and he proceeded to run out his room, came smack to me, and was like, "Somebody tried to take out the president." I said, "Which president?" Trump. I said,
only one.
What? What? What you mean? Oh no, the reason why I asked is because at this point Biden's so old, Jesus gonna take him at any day now.
Okay.
I had to ask to make sure, like, which one are we talking? And then I was like, I know they ain't talking about Obama, because what the fuck? So yeah, he was like, Trump. I said, ain't no way. Ain't no way. I proceeded to turn on the news. They run the playback, and I'm immediately said, "State.
This is fake." Yeah. Exactly. And see, okay, so my issue is we watched this all play out on TV. Now, I heard mixed reviews, of course, you know, Black Twitter and the memes. God, the memes. Y'all and these memes took me out. I had a good time with the memes. However, I guess, I don't know. Every day that this whole political situation unfolds, every new chapter, every page turn, I find more and more out about people and where their heads are as far as, you know, just their viewpoints and what they're willing to go to bat for and what they're not. And, you know, I realize that there's diversity in the world, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with people being diverse. I'm okay with them having opinions that aren't like mine. But then every now and then you run into like a real, you know, freaking bigot, like I believe, in my opinion, Donald Trump to be, that has wealth, that has power, that can do something that shifts the course of the world. I mean, he's talking about, like, I don't know how short-term people's memories are, but do you remember watching families, regardless of race, but just actual babies, being locked in cages? Y'all remember that? Like, do you remember all of that? Do you remember how appalled we were? Do you remember the feelings? You remember the helplessness? Just the pictures and the rhetoric alone. And to see that playing out over, I don't know, it's just, he gets on these mics and he rallies up these people. And it's always about, oh, we're going to do the most mass deportations. We're going to do this, that, and the third. We're going to, you know, people like long-standing people like Amber Rose, that is a hardcore feminist. Amber Rose, of all people, Miss Slutwalk, that goes out, like, she's built her whole brand around feminism, around, you know, the Black community, about things, to then turn around and publicly endorse Trump.
Right. What? And she's not Black though.
According I said to around her, the Black community.
No, I'm just saying, but according to her, she's not Black though. But yeah,
but she built her wealth
around Black people,
her celebrity off of us. Though.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Right. So, and I mean, it's just looking at things like that makes me, like, with this political climate, it makes me like, this isn't what it was back in the older days, where you might agree with one thing, you might agree with the other, and then it's kind of, we have this cutesy agree to disagree kind of rhetoric. It's not like that anymore. Right. You're talking about the very survival of people at this point. You're talking about people's lives, whether or not they are allowed to exist. And you have this fucktard up here saying these things openly. Hate. And a lot of y'all are like, rah, rah, rah. And then you have the undereducated people that are out here trying to cape and make excuses and this, that, and the third. Like, when I saw him in that assassination attempt, I was like, oh, they are about to have a ball with this. Not only, like, I thought that everybody was on the same page with how fake it looked, from the little blood from the ear. Like, where did all the, what? You mean to tell me that this person that was on the roof that took a shot at you with a bullet that looked like that was only to nick your ear? And then the Secret Service niggas that you got tackling you to the ground, like all of them
allow
were
you to get up and pump your fist up. They're not supposed to do that. They're supposed to bum rush you off of the stage, period.
And then he talking about, they released the audio where he talking about, let me get my shoe. What? Let me get my shoe?
First of all, they're supposed to completely cover him. Period.
And take him.
Why
off
was he
the
able
stage.
to even poke his face out? If the shooter was still alive at that point, that's just bloop, open face. No, that's how I know it was fake. All of that shit was fake. It was planned. It was a setup. Somebody was.
And don't get me wrong.
As
much as I can't stand Candace Owens, she even went on. She was like, absolutely not. She said, I've been around presidents. I know how the Secret Service works. She said they almost shot my husband because they didn't even know who he was.
Yeah,
she said,
I know. Coming down the stairwell, he wasn't supposed to be on.
She was going off. Candace was going off. She was going off.
Listen, to Lyric's point, I mean, it's about timing. I mean, like, the attempt seemed to occur at the moment when Trump needed like the most surge in media attention.
Yeah,
so
that's all it
like,
was.
All of this.
That's what it was.
It is.
And somebody had to lose their life over it.
But let's even talk about that. Let's talk about the incompetence of the assailant. 20-year-old from that podunk school. Like, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand that. And he's a Republican too. He's a Republican.
He somehow evaded Secret Service. His neighbors went around talking about, oh no, he had Trump shit in his yard. Like, what?
It didn't make sense. The motive didn't make sense. The math's not math.
And then they start showing pictures. They start showing pictures of somebody pointing up at the guy, the shooter, going up the ladder, getting on the thing. They showed a picture of somebody pointing up there. So you mean to tell me Secret Service
wasn't on top of that?
Yeah.
Not only that, but they did interviews with like the local people, like with the local police, and they're like, "Oh no, somebody told us about it." But like, he sounds so incompetent. If you go back and watch the YouTube videos,
it's crazy.
Just look at the accounts that were, man. If you believe this kind of stuff, ooh.
And another thing. The rifle that the shooter used, they take those big long ass bullets.
That's what I said.
Come on now, how it just nicked the side of his ear?
No,
it
that
really
took
did.
His whole fucking ear off.
That
whole
thing
head.
took his ear off.
And then you come up with this little Kool-Aid stain on your ear, like we supposed to take that serious.
And then they actually showed a clip of a lady that was behind him, and she kept moving and ducking like she knew what was about to happen.
Yes. Yeah. It's like so much.
It just isn't making it. Yeah. I said, "Oh my god!" I was over it. I said, "I'm over it." I don't even want to hear them. I said, "I'm over with that bullshit." It's crazy. Man, it is crazy.
A lot of the online rhetoric and a lot of the things that y'all have to say, they're alarming at this point. Like, I want to know, are y'all okay? Because you couldn't be watching the same things. You couldn't be watching the same stories unfold and not arrive at the same conclusions. You couldn't.
And to the ones that be jumping on people's fucking posts, acting like we laughing at somebody dying. You. I'm talking to you. Are you that fucking dense? Why would anybody think a loss of life was funny? No, we think it's funny that he tried to play in our face.
Exactly.
That's the funny shit. Have some common sense before you comment on somebody's shit.
And not only that, but okay, let me address this for all of those people, including friends on social media posts, family even, because a lot of y'all been talking real spicy too, getting up on my social media posts and having things to say. Listen, family aside, all of that. Stop this. Like, I get it. Y'all want to look like Superman in the story on the how it's retold. You know, Lex Luthor is taking over the world, and Superman won't send an I beam through his asshole or whatever, like he should. And that's fine. And I'm not condoning any kind of political violence. I'm not saying it needs to happen. I'm not saying any of this. What I am saying though is that for a person to promote as much hatred and as much caping as he does for everybody to have guns, for him to then have his whole thing attempted, like, it's just a bad look.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. It don't.
But then, of course, white people got a hold of this and they've spun the narrative. Oh, he took a bullet for us. He's a true American.
Right.
But that's exactly what he wanted.
He did.
And then people got to realize, like, that's the whole point. That was the whole point of this. He got what he wanted.
He got what he wanted.
He ignited more followers, and he fueled the ones that he already had to start acting like fucking assholes out here.
Yep.
It's like it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Incredibly.
Because if they could storm the Capitol, what else do you think that they're capable of
doing?
Like, honestly, November's going to change things. I'm so sorry. It really is. Because if he wins, it's going to change things. If he loses, it's going to change things. Like, people... Whew,
they're going to really start acting out.
I'm really fearful. Well, not even fearful, but I'm just... Well, no, it does kind of give me a little bit of anxiety on how things are going to play out in November. It really does.
Should. And I'll speak on that. If you're already anxious, do not watch the movie Civil War.
Oh, I look at that, and I
watched it, and it's exactly it's the blueprint of what's going to happen. It is. It's the blueprint. We're fucked either way. Wow. So if you already feel like that, don't watch that movie. You really gonna feel some type of way.
Well.
Anyways,
take that off the watch list. Anyways, because somebody said, "Oh, you should watch Civil War." Now you telling me what?
Yeah, go on and watch it. Go on and watch it.
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
My anxiety is already shit right now because all y'all's fuckery. So, anyways, all right. So that's it. Second half of the show up next. We will be back.
Let's put this in perspective. The Supreme Court just lifted 40 years of government regulation, removing oversight in most public life, from aviation to food to drugs you used to heal with to the environment. Which means corporations have much more of a green light now to do whatever they want to do in their industry, as long as they prioritize the profits of the people with no regulation, no oversight, with no penalty. Because, hey, you can just bribe a Supreme Court judge to regulate the way you want them to.
$4.2 million. That's the amount of money that Clarence Thomas has accepted in the form of bribes, gifts, during his time serving the Supreme Court. $1.8 million of that was given to him by Harlan Crow, who is a Republican megadonor, billionaire conservative, in the form of lodging and trips. Clarence Thomas did not report this $1.8 million on his financial disclosures. I am so embarrassed that he is still serving on our Supreme Court. Also, he's not the only Supreme Court justice that accepts gifts from people. Many of our Supreme Court justices do. Yet I know people who can't even so much as accept a $5 Starbucks gift card from their job without being investigated.
On my mom, if Supreme Court had to rock the patches of the companies that was sponsoring them, like race car jackets, a lot of them dressers robes would look just like this. Let's break it down and simplify it some more. A bribed Supreme Court legalized political bribery, then criminalized homelessness, then took away the federal agency's power over their own regulations and handed it to corporations. I remember in high school learning about how the government empowered the FDA to make sure things like our meat that we eat is packaged and clean and not with a whole bunch of like rat feces and things like that. Let's just say it costed meat companies a whole bunch of money to make sure they regulated our meat being clean. So instead, they paid the government or Supreme Court less than what they would have to pay for the regulation and make it where they pass a bill to say, hey, no longer have to regulate the meat that they feed consumers and that they can give us meat with all type of feces and all type of things in it. In some instances, they already do it. Now it's even got worse. FDA stands for Food Drug Administration, for y'all that don't know too. It's wild. Think about it like this. Overturn the Chevron doctrine now allows for judges to say, hey, instead of experts deciding what should be done in the field or industry, the judges can decide. Can you see all of the conflict of interest that's involved in that? Education is elevation.
Take us to work. Take us on the go. Take us wherever you go. WRTR, Real Talk Radio.
All right, folks. Welcome to the second half of this week's show. So we've got a treat for you. We received a fantastic letter from one of our longtime listeners, Jasmine from Atlanta, Georgia. Jasmine, she's been rocking with us since day one, and she got a question. Y'all ready? No. Jasmine writes, okay. Take a deep breath then. Jasmine writes, hey y'all. Love the podcast. You always seem to keep it real and entertaining. I've been listening since your very first episode, and I've got a question for you. Oh, speaking of which, shout outs to us. This is today marks 1 year since we actually started podcasting over the radio, TV show, and all that. So the podcast is a year. All right. Anyways, Jasmine writes, "Hey y'all, love the podcast. You always seem to keep it real and entertaining. I've been listening since your very first episode, and I've got a question for you. What's the most hilariously embarrassing fashion fail you've ever had?"
Oh, who?
Fashion fail.
I've never had a fashion fail.
Sorry. Lies.
Next.
Lies.
Next.
Lies.
Next. I ain't never had a fashion fail. Where?
Bull.
When did I have a fashion fail? Explain. When?
Man. So you're not going to tell no stories of yours? I'll tell some of mine.
Go ahead. I ain't had no fashion fail.
Lyric, you want to go first, or I'm going to give you the option?
I mean, I can't recall having one either.
Never a fashion fail from back in the day. From back in the day, you ain't never had no fashion fails from back in the day. Like,
I mean, I really can't speak on my child. Not as an adult, no. Because when I first started dressing myself, I was good. I mean,
I'm not talking about when you dressed yourself. She said, "Have you ever?" So, have you ever found a?
Well, shit, my entire childhood was a fashion fail. Then my mama kept me
right.
Some
if that's the case, then if that's the case,
I wasn't wearing name brand designer shit.
Right.
Like it wasn't. This wasn't that.
Dude,
you know what I'm saying?
I used to have these jeans where one leg was orange and the other one was purple.
Wait, what do you mean? Was this a 90s crisscross thing?
I think, it was the 90s.
Well, okay. Yeah, 90s was 90s. 90s fashion. I don't know. I remember this one pair of sneakers that I had, like when I was a teen. Okay, so it was when I hit my growth spurt, and my dad was buying, like, I guess I was growing, but I was growing at such a rapid rate, they didn't know when it was going to stop. So I guess like around the time that I was 13, I was, my body was like, all right, then we got one more in us and then we gonna chill. And my father bought me these size 13 shoes. And of course, for those of y'all that don't know, I wear actual size, probably 10.5 to 11. So these size 13 shoes, of course, were too big, but I was expected to grow into them. And of course, working class family, you're not going to always have, the option to just go out and buy another shoe. Like, shit's expensive. Anyway, so I got these shoes. When I tell you the toes on them joints, because of course you walk and stuff, the toes of them joints Curled up like a little elf, huh?
You had toe print shoes.
Wait, there's a name for them. It's called toe print shoes.
I just said toe print shoes.
Oh, I thought you. Toe print shoes. Anyway, so yeah, that's the only fashion fail that I can think of, like right off top, because I just remember having them shoes and people was making fun of me. They was like, "Yo, what's up with your feet? Why your feet curl upward?"
Oh no.
So yeah, I'm embarrassing. So there you go, Jasmine. Hopefully that helps.
I mean, I used to get shoes from Payless.
Who didn't?
I cannot.
Shit, a lot of according to some people, they ain't never wore no Payless. Shit, I did.
Please.
Church shoes, school shoes.
I
had the shoes with the lights in them.
Now, I never had the light up shoes. I didn't have those.
I did light up shoes when I was younger.
Oh my god! Wow. Oh, y'all remember British Night? BK.
Yes, BKs. Yeah, I remember those.
Y'all remember the? Hold on. So was it
like
the urban legend? Wait, so was it an urban legend or was it real that niggas was blowing them joints up? And then when they would go out on the basketball court, and I heard some nigga blew his feet off because he bumped them up too much.
I never heard that.
You never heard that back in the 90s?
I never heard that. I never heard that.
God. I heard niggas was blowing them up, and because they were blowing them up too much, I heard people were getting injuries on the basketball court from, you know, I guess them popping because they came down too hard and it's been pumped too much. Of course, you know, being 10 and 11, and you hear that shit, you'd be like, yeah. But anyway, thanks for that, Jasmine. I wanted to honor your letter because you wrote a very nice one, and we truly appreciate the feedback. So we'll go from there. Y-Files up next.
Tell me something. Why is it y'all all of a sudden feel the need to shit all over old music? Like, I don't get where that comes from. Like, I remember being a kid and Sam Cooke, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, they were all long dead. But I still respected them. Like, I respected their music and what they did for the art form. Like Rakim, KRS-One, LL Cool J. I wasn't around for that shit, you know what I mean? For like the heyday of that. But I still admire what they did and learn from all that they accomplished. It's because later on, I don't agree with necessarily everything about their style, or maybe they, you know, don't do it the same as they did when they were younger. I mean, I'm still in awe of what they did accomplish when they did it. Like, soon as a motherfucker put out a whack song, y'all just so quick that he was always mid. He never had shit. They never could do. Like, what the fuck? Some of these artists have sold millions and millions of records without the internet or social media. And you think you could have done better? Stop playing. Hold that. I just don't understand what y'all get out of ignoring or downplaying somebody's accomplishments when they are most of the reason you even have a road for your lane now. Hey, okay, you don't rock with it? Cool, that's fine. You weren't even there in the first place. Pipe the fuck down.
Why do you have roaches?
The Why File.
Why do my children hate me?
On WRTR Real Talk Radio.
Why did my vagina burn?
The truth is out there.
Explaining the unexplained. We're answering what to the questions you want to know by taking your tweets at WRTR Radio. We take your emails over at WRTRradio@gmail.com. And we take your Facebook messages on our Facebook page, WRTR Real Talk Radio. This is the Y-Files. Remember, the truth is out there. You first or me, Tigger Man?
I can go.
Go for it.
This one is coming from Gary. Gary wants to know, why do black people like to reuse the plastic containers from Chinese for carry-outs?
Because
why the
shit
fuck
is
not?
Expensive. Exactly.
Waste not, want not. That's why, motherfucker.
And y'all charge $20. Y'all charging $20 for Mugu got paying anyway. So yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Shit, I ordered me some ramen, and they gave me one of them like thick, sturdy ramen bowls. That shit right in my cupboard right now. Fuck you,
Exactly.
ramen bowl, bitch. I paid
right,
for it. Came with it.
Be right in the work refrigerator with your name on it in a marker and daring niggas to touch it. Yep.
And wish a motherfucker would. Okay.
I wish you would touch my food if you want to.
Oh my god.
Because the truth is out there. That's why.
Period.
All right. Pluto from Dallas.
Pluto.
Yeah, I guess is, I hope that's not, well, I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, Pluto from Dallas. He asked, why women? What's wrong with y'all? Y'all can't say women. Okay, anyways. Why females always be worried about keeping their area shaven? Don't they realize that there are real men out here that love it natural?
Hair holds odor.
Say that
for
again.
Some people, you know what I'm
Say
saying?
that again.
So maybe that might be why they shave it off. That's why they shave their underarms too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody don't want a bushy patch of fucking hair on their fucking body. How about you worry about yourself, nigga? She want to shave? Let her shave. Maybe she don't want to get extra mercy. Extra mercy down there. Mercy. It's hot.
And you know what? That's the king.
103 degrees.
People. Okay, so that is apparently people are liking the more natural things nowadays, or basically maybe it's discussed a little bit more freely now that people like the whole little natural bushy kind of thing. And if that's y'all's thing, then that's fine. However, I will say that this needs to be a conversation that you have with somebody prior to. A lot of y'all don't want to clean. A lot of y'all don't want to maintain your areas, period. And then you just be surprising people with that funk. Like, oh, surprise. It's like, nobody wants that experience, because at least give me the option of whether or not, like, hey, we getting it down and dirty, and be like, hey, you know what? Next time, leave it rank. I like a little stink on it. Like, if that's how you roll, then that's cool. But have that conversation. Get somebody to
hell nah, don't fall for the shit, because as soon as y'all get into it in front of y'all friends, the first thing that motherfucker gonna say, shut the fuck up, bitch. That's why your pussy stink. Don't fall for it. Save your shit. Take care of this shit the way you want to take care of your shit. It's your body.
I'm done.
Fuck that.
I'm done. I'm done.
I like it a little natural. Don't y'all realize? Leave it funky. What? Are you okay? What's going on?
I'm like, cut the shit.
Y'all out here believing Trump. Y'all don't want to save your pussy. Like, what is happening out here? God,
I cannot.
All right. Why? Because the truth is out there. Miss Lyrical Scott.
Mine comes from Kyrie from DC. Okay. Kyrie says, why do niggas act like they don't know they dick little?
Hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Really?
That's
really?
Horrible, Kyrie.
Is he feeling some kind of way?
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, that's
okay.
Oh,
I was saying, because I thought it was okay.
Oh, it's a girl.
Asking why dudes act like they don't know they got a small
teeny.
Weedy. I don't know.
First of all, why would they even say that? Oh, I got a little dick. I'm telling everybody I got a little dick. Really?
Oh.
Really?
I mean,
who gonna say that?
No, I don't think nobody will say that. I think maybe she's speaking of the energy that they give.
The energy. Oh, to give
because
big energy.
You know what I'm saying. Big dick energy is big dick energy.
I want to know, Kyrie, what is big? What is big? What is big to you?
Like they got big dick energy.
Okay, hold on. Now I want to know from Kyrie, if she hear this, What is big dick to you, and what is small dick to you? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know.
You brought them hate tweets on yourself.
That's what I want to know.
Okay.
That's what I want to know. What do you consider a small, and what do you consider a big?
Oh God.
That's what
now
I
you
want
just
to know.
now you just prompted a whole bunch of people.
Is
Now
it a
you're gonna
per-
get a whole bunch of
Right.
now you're gonna get a whole bunch of
I'm
opinions
just
in your
saying.
inbox now.
No, I'm not.
There
Don't
you
be
are.
sending that shit to me.
They gonna be right in your inbox talking about it.
Don't be
It's big
sending
enough.
But the question is not to me. The question is to Kyrie.
Exactly, and niggas gonna be in your DMs talking about, yeah, well, this is the big
they
one.
need to be
This is what
sending
it's
that to
supposed to
Kyrie.
look like.
They need to be sending that to Kyrie. She's the one that brought this up. She the one that brought this up.
You're gonna have a cornucopia of ashy dicks in your inbox. They're gonna be right there.
Goodbye.
It's gonna be one with a bump on it.
Yeah.
On that note, next.
Oh, that's a birthmark. That ain't no goddamn birthmark.
Y'all dumb. Y'all dumb.
Guess we'll keep that same energy.
Is out there.
And we're gonna keep that same energy.
Thing you looking for, girl.
Yikes.
I cannot.
Avoid the one with the bump on it. All right.
Wow.
Keeping in that same energy. News to make you nauseous is up next.
I cannot.
Did you know that herpes are far more common than most people think? I'm sorry, that was rude. Hey, how you doing, friend? Did you know that over 50% of Americans have oral herpes and that is 1 in 6 for genital herpes? Did you know that you can have sex one time even within a relationship and still contract an STI? Yes, more unprotected exposure increases your chances of contracting one, but STIs are not bound to promiscuity. Did you know that many STIs are treatable and or curable? And that even if you have one like herpes or HIV that is not completely curable, you can still have an active and healthy sex life. Now, you may be asking, why the fuck is she telling me this? Because society places a stigma on STIs and the people that have them, which often makes people hesitant to seek medical treatment if they suspect that they have one. It also makes it easier to spread misinformation about STIs, and it makes people think that they're immune to contracting one unless they have careless sex. Now, prevention is always the goal, which is why I spend a lot of time talking about protection and vaccines for viruses like HPV. I also encourage everybody to be very enthusiastic about testing. But I truly believe that a large part of STI education is digging past the shame so that we can center education and compassion.
Hold on, y'all. I got a question. Do y'all be getting weird-ass text messages from weird-ass numbers? Bitch, the other day, somebody gonna text me talking about something. Hey, how you doing? You remember me? So I text back and said, who is this? This is Evelyn. Remember, we used to play golf together. Evelyn? Golf? Bitch, I'm not Tiger Woods. You got the wrong motherfucking number. This not Mike from Washington State that do real estate? I said, bitch, who? The only Mike that I know, bitch, is Mike Lowry. And I seen him a couple of days ago on the movie screen. Bitch, you got the wrong motherfucking number. Then the bitch gonna say, I think this is a beautiful misunderstanding. I said, oh no, this bitch an escort. This bitch over there licking the phone. You freak, get off of my motherfucking phone. Bitch, I blocked that number, bitch. Do y'all be getting numbers like that? I rebuke you, you fucking sex demon.
And now, say what? News to make you nauseous on WRTR Real Talk Radio. Let's go.
President Biden has just tested positive for COVID-19.
Oh, hell.
Oh, Lord.
Here we go.
We about to have a black woman president.
But you know what? I heard Roland Martin talking earlier today. I was listening to his show. And he was talking about how this may be a setup for, I don't know. Anyways, conspiracy theories aside, this is news to make you nauseous. How do I usually do this?
Oh my!
These are some of the stories you might not read in the New York Times, the Washington Post, or the Wall Street Journal. It's news to make you nauseous. All right. Who's going first, Ms. Lyric?
Sure. Say what? Up on Marlboro, Maryland. I say Merlin.
Merlin. Say what?
Shaheed Omar Jr. age 24, from Marlboro, was killed, and a woman was shot in a parking lot of a high school around 10 p.m., police said. Officers found Omar suffering from a gunshot wound. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead a short time later. A Prince George's County Police News release said. The woman has injuries that are not life-threatening. Captain Sony Bath, the acting commander of the department's Major Crimes Division, said the police returned to the scene where the gunshots were heard after the vigil at a high school auditorium. And this vigil was for those 3 guys that were killed in that car crash.
Yeah.
Like a week prior to this going on. So he attended the vigil. And I think one of the guys was like, he was his friend or his cousin. And let's see, the weapon was recovered at the scene. The police are still working to identify a suspect and a motive. The shooting took place at Wise High School parking lot. So that's literally like 15, 20 minutes away from you and I. It's crazy.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's why I said, in my little thing that I posted in my reel, it's too hot to be confrontational with people.
It is entirely too hot. Woo! Because niggas is already on edge because of heat, and you don't need none of that exacerbated. Or exacerbated, rather.
It's not working.
It certainly isn't.
All righty. Okay, say what? Inglewood, Colorado.
Say what?
On March 25th, the Inglewood Police Department arrested Reginald McLaren, 81, after he allegedly killed his wife and adult daughter with an axe to prevent them from becoming homeless.
81?
81, yes.
You police axe murdering people at 81? Jesus Christ.
Yes. Police documents say he was arrested on multiple charges, including murder in the first degree and a weapons charge. According to the arrest affidavit, McLaren allegedly admitted to killing his wife, Bethany McLaren, 70, and daughter, Ruth McLaren, 35, because his family was running out of money and would not be able to afford their home anymore. McLaren went to the emergency department at Swedish Medical Center on the evening of March 25th, where he waived his Miranda rights and shared information with the police. In this interview with Detective, McLaren allegedly said his family would have had to vacate their apartment on March 25th, and they had nowhere to live afterwards because they had no money.
So
he was
killed.
Yes. He was allegedly previously employed at a hospital, shared services, and worked frequently with the homeless population. According to authorities, he said being homeless was a miserable life. McLaren allegedly began planning to kill his family approximately 10 days ago, according to police documents. Yes. Investigators say he had bought an axe, 2 large trash cans, and a handsaw at Home Depot and stored these items in his apartment. Approximately 6:03 p.m. on the day of the murder, police say they received a call from McLaren stating that he thought his wife and daughter had been killed with a hammer. Lord. When officers entered the residence, they found 2 victims inside large trash cans in the living room kitchen area. According to
trash cans?
Yes. According to police, both victims had substantial visual injuries. McLaren allegedly struck his wife and daughter in the head that morning with the axe while they were sitting on the couch, making them unconscious. According to police documents, he then allegedly struck each in the head with the axe 2 more times. The affidavit says he then sawed their arms and legs off to make them fit in the trash cans.
Bitch, you is fucking lying. At 81, how? First of all, you got to have some serious old man strength to be able to pick up dead bodies and do all of that shit too.
Wow. And guess what? He was black.
Well, I mean, that explains the strength, but not the crazy. Wow. Okay. That
he up there looking like that.
Yes.
Oh, but okay. So
She Googled him. She Googled him.
That's wild.
Let's unpack this. Like, what? Okay, you did this. You killed them because you didn't want to be homeless because homelessness is rough. So you killed 2 people as a means to not be homeless at 81. None of this makes sense.
It don't make sense.
He got three shots in a cot.
I feel like you could have arrived there by doing something a little less heinous. Like,
exactly.
It's like, that's so contradictory, but okay, sure.
I mean, he probably was suffering from some sort of mental shit. He was like 80 something.
Definitely.
That's crazy.
All right, last one. Say what, Waldorf?
Say what?
So Waldorf, Maryland. Here we go.
Okay.
All right. All right. So I initially pulled this story earlier because maybe some of y'all saw it on my social media before I posted it. But basically, it was a story about this young man that wandered his way into a bank in Waldorf and tried to make a deposit. The problem was this young black man was fully nude. Walked his way right into the bank and tried to make a deposit. And
what?
He was completely nude. That is actually the joke that I made.
Was this one of your cousins?
It wasn't. And all of these jokes and stuff, I was ready for the jokes to flow, right? For the news to make you nauseous on this. Because, hilarity. But then it comes out. Now, this article was posted by Southern Maryland News, online. They posted this article along with the mugshot of this individual who has to go to court for this, of course. It also came out that his parents were trying to get this story suppressed and trying to get the publication to remove the story. Why? Because the young man is autistic.
Oh, okay.
So, the part of all of this that makes this nauseating for me is because I feel like if it were like Tad or Billy, that this story, if they even decided to run it, it would have been ran with the actual research done to make sure that this person does not have some sort of illness or
because why would somebody walk into a bank naked to make a deposit? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
that's my point, and that's the part that makes it nauseous. It's like it was a black boy, so they immediately posted it right there.
There we go.
Like it was on there. Like it was there,
and then you have
and the fact that the family had to go back and forth with the publication to have the story removed or to have it modified or to have any of this put in. The fact that they're going through this back and forth is crazy to me. But America, here we sit.
Here we sit.
If you want these and more nauseating news stories, give us a follow over on Twitter at WRTR Radio. I'm at MarcusSmoot across all social networks. That's Marcus Smoot.
And my name is Miss Lyric Bravado, and you can find me on all social media platforms at Lyric Bravado, except for all of the nasty ones, including Twitter/X, because I'm about to be removed from that too, because y'all some nasty.
Girl, you've been saying that for 3, 4, 5 months now.
I don't know, because when
3 weeks, it's been weeks. It's been weeks. Don't pull it.
And you can find me, Tiggerman, on Facebook at Tony Tickerman Nelson, on Lord Jesus, Instagram and X Tickerman82, and you can also find me on OnlyFans, just for fans, just for friends,
just for who?
Just for friends,
just for laughs,
pen pals. It's like, no.
Prison mates.
Prison mates.
You need to get with a little boy. You need to get with an old boy from the White House talking about I like it funky. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So up next on Real Talk, we are debating back and forth. Do you think people that constantly use filters have low self-esteem? Yeah. Up next.
Sexy Red does a lot of loser ass shit. But rarely do I engage in discourse about her, not because she doesn't deserve to be criticized, but because I don't agree with the narratives that are used to criticize her. For instance, I just saw a video of somebody saying that she is an industry plant who plays a ghetto character so that she can push an agenda. There are archives of that woman's entire life on the internet, and she's been making the same kind of music for over 5 years. She's also from the north side of St. Louis. She ain't pretending to be ghetto. Now, I do think that her team purposely sensationalizes her image, which is wholly unnecessary because it's already controversial in its own right, which is why she comes off as more of a caricature than somebody like Glorilla, who is also from the hood and who also embraces things that Black women are typically shamed for. She just doesn't rely on provocation as a marketing tool to the same extent that Sexy Red does. The most dominant complaint about Sexy Red is that she fuels negative stereotypes about Black women. And I find that this is when we typically veer into respectability politics. First of all, I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks of Black women, but Black women. And I would understand it from a strategy standpoint if the respect that is given to respectable Black women was more than an illusion. From Angel Reese to Claudine Gay to the average Black woman in corporate America, we have learned time and time again that being respectable, sophisticated, or even gifted will not shield Black women from misogynoir. I'll concede that Sexy Red could be weaponized in the mind of a person that is already racist, but Black women are not responsible for misogynoir working the way that it was designed to. Make it about how her behavior is actually harmful to Black women, which shouldn't be difficult. I mean, she promotes both Trump and texturism. But we can critique her without making her a scapegoat for misogyny, classism, and racism. We can also hold suspicion for how she's being postured by other groups without centering their approval. Because I will never forget that interview where she opened up about being raped, only to have the male interviewers laugh in her fucking face. She should have never been placed in that position, and that alone let me know that she is being mishandled. I just think that her image changes the way that we talk about it. And another thing before I go, because this video is already too motherfucking long, another thing that y'all like to pretend is that Sexy Red is a stain on an otherwise upstanding industry. Hip-hop is rife with colorism, misogynoir, the glorification of violence, drugs, and other unhealthy lifestyles. And this does not just apply to the mumble rappers who y'all also use as scapegoats. This goes back to men who are considered pioneers, even some of those conscious rappers. Yet the same people who continue to support these men will launch into tirades about how Sexy Red is damaging the Black community. Y'all still stepping in the name of love.
Keeping it 100. It's Real Talk. On WRTR, Real Talk Radio. We keep it real.
Y'all. I need to go to the store.
What you gonna get?
Some BC. And no, that does not stand for Black.
I'm saying, if you picking it up at the grocery store, Jesus Christ.
It's an aspirin.
All right. So we're inside Real Talk this week, and we're talking, Tiggerman came up with this one. Do you think people who constantly use filters have low self-esteem? What'd you come up with this one for, Tigger?
I don't know. I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about people that, because I'm always seeing pictures of people online, social media. It can be even on dating apps and stuff like that, and they'll send you pictures of them. You can tell it's filtered. You can tell it's filtered, and it's just like to me in a way. I feel like if it's on a dating app or something like that, and you using filters, and then you see that person, see the person in person. They're catfishing, basically. I consider that as catfishing.
Do you?
I do. I consider that as catfishing. But like on social media, I mean, everybody uses filters. Hell, I use filters sometimes, but it's just a little bit. Just if I see like a little mark on my face that I don't want to show, or I'll cover that up a little bit, just a little bit or whatever like that. But I know that there are people out there that do have low self-esteem. and so they don't like how they look in pictures, so they throw those filters on them.
Okay, so you believe it to be catfish. So do you find it? Are you upset and angry when people do? When you see them on social media, or because I'm sure it's happened to more. It happens a lot to where you'll see people online and then you'll run into them in person, and for some people I don't even recognize them. I'll be like,
and I'll be like, girl,
familiar.
I'll be like, really? Exactly. And that's the thing. You be like, hold on, I know they look familiar, but
right.
And then you go back and look and be like, well, hold on, wait a minute.
You fatty.
You like, I know,
I know you fucking lying.
Right. I'd be like, come on now, for real.
But you know what? Have you ever been catfished before?
Oh, hell yeah, I have.
How did you handle that?
Now that would piss me off. That's what will piss me off. I mean, if you're on Facebook or you putting your pictures up, fine, that's that. But don't catfish me. I mean, don't do that to me.
But how did you handle it when you found out the person wasn't?
I told him, I was like, man, you do not look like that picture. You look similar to that picture, but you do not look like that picture.
Oh, and
I've done that. I don't care.
I mean, what was
that is me, but that is me. What are you talking about? Yeah, it's you, but it's not you.
Wow. So people like catfish with younger pictures of themselves, are you saying? Or like more boys pictures? Or
yeah, you know how when they to make them look younger, or they just don't look like themselves. And when you see them in person, so that was just my question, though. I mean, do you think they doing that because of low self-esteem, or they just do it because they just like the way they look on that picture?
I think because
some people get
both.
Yeah, because I know some people get addicted to doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like get really addicted to doing it.
Wow.
It is addiction for some people. Well, for people with, with low self-esteem or whatever, that's an addiction. It's an addiction. Yeah. It's an addiction.
But first of all, that's a complicated question because it depends on what you're using your social media for. Exactly. Some people like me, I'm an artist. I don't got no problem with using fucking filters. I don't give a fuck. Right. Most of the celebrities that y'all see is heavily filtered. Any magazine that you see, any beauty campaign, it's filters.
It's filtered.
They edit these pictures, so you're not gonna see pock marks. You're not gonna see actual pores and skin. Right. You're not gonna see any of that. So it's no different from that than social media. When people are just like posting pictures just to be posting pictures, and then every little fucking thing is filter, and they just not even doing shit. I mean,
right.
That's one thing.
Exactly. That's my
advertising. You advertising for like a dating app. No, that is misleading. Like
it is. Yeah.
and some, even in that instance, some people might not even think that way. They probably thinking like, oh, what's the most attractive picture I can get so I can meet somebody potentially? But you have to realize you're still gonna have to meet that person.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If you're just looking flawless, and then when they get to you, all they see is chaos. It can seem like very off-putting and catfish. And nobody's gonna like take you serious. So every now and then I post a picture without no filter because I don't give a fuck. I mean,
exactly. Exactly.
I'm not on it like that, but I don't think everybody is suffering from low self-esteem. I think it's an obsession. Yeah, with certain people.
Yeah, see, but that was my question though. Do you think it's because they have low self-esteem, or is it
some people
else?
Yeah.
I mean, because that's just like me.
Because I done seen some mud ducks.
Not mud ducks.
And bitch, I know what you look like in real fucking
life.
Like,
well, hold on, wait a minute.
You could never. You could never. So you look like you're one chromosome away. Let's be clear. Okay.
And then the ones where they make you look way smaller than what you are. And then you see them be like, well, hold on, wait a minute.
But in real life, your motherfucking nose is as wide as a Ninja Turtle's head.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, no, not the Ninja Turtle head.
Yeah.
I was like, come on now. I was like, come on now. Really?
But you know what? I will say, like, I do believe that it is a equal blend for a lot of people of insecurities and, you know, and reality. Because, I mean, everybody wants to always put their best foot forward. We all do.
Yeah.
We all want to be seen in the best possible light that we can. And for that reason alone, I think it's, you know, some of the filters are cute. They are. You'd be like,
no, don't get me wrong. They are. But
like, if I use a filter, it'll be something like artsy because I'm kind of like playing with, you know, I'm getting better with my graphics and stuff. So if I post pictures and stuff, I'll be a little bit more artsy about it. But as far as filters and all of that, I guess I haven't been one that has beat myself up a lot about my physical features. I beat myself up about a whole bunch of other stuff that's not physical. So, but I can't see the need of wanting to present yourself as a certain type person. But like Miss Lyric said, you eventually gonna have to meet people. They're eventually going to see you for who you are because in person, you don't have these filters.
You don't.
There isn't that option of clicking and erasing the scars or the blemishes or the imperfections. Embrace who you are.
Yeah, I mean, because I ain't gonna even lie. Go ahead.
Cardi B just had that problem too. Like her fans was getting on her for going live and using filters and stuff like that. And when she was like, y'all gotta understand, sometimes I be tired and I don't want people to see me a certain way. Like, yes, I'm a person. But at the end of the day, I have that right to control how I'm seen. And I was like, you know what? She motherfucking right. She ain't got to like conform, but she still took the filter off. And you can see the dark marks under her eyes. And she was like, this is how I look. But I just choose. I'm making the conscious choice to not want to be seen like that.
Be seen like that.
Right.
And she has that right. So, you know, I get it. I'm not faulting nobody for doing that. Nicki Minaj does that shit all the time too.
All the time.
And it speaks, you know what, this speaks to the imperfection or the kind of perfectionist idea that the world has for people. You have to fit a certain mold. You have to be a certain. That's why things like the closet exist, because people have to exist behind the embarrassment that they feel for whatever it is that the outward world
going to think of them.
So yeah, a lot of things are filters. Closets are filters for a lot of y'all out here living double lives. Just saying.
My whole thing is, at the end of the day, let people live. Let them do what the fuck they want to do. If it's not hurting anybody, if they choose to put this shit on, then let them put the shit on. Because guess what? You also have a choice of whether you want to interact and deal with that person.
And deal with it or not.
If you don't, then hey, that's on you. It's not hurting anybody.
Like that nigga with no foot that that I dated that or that
goodbye.
You know, I went out on a date with. Y'all remember that?
Goodbye.
Y'all remember that? The nigga with no foot.
Shut up.
What?
Okay, I never told you that story.
Oh my God, Lord.
The nigga with no foot, like back when I used to live over near FedEx Field in the DC area. And I met up with this dude online. He was all charming and stuff. We met in person, went to I was in my late 20s or some shit. Anyways, we went to, I was in my late 30s. I met this dude. Yeah, because I was living over near FedEx Field. So never mind. Met him, go over there. We went out, met him in person, and he was walking with a limp. I was like, oh, what's going on? He's walking with a limp, had a little sport cane and everything. He was like, oh man, I had just gotten into a car accident and all this other stuff. Had this whole extravagant story about this awful car accident. I was like, oh wow, so a lot going on out here. Damn, this, that, and the third. Turns out he ain't had no foot. But he ain't want to tell me that his foot come on and off. So he made up this whole elaborate story. I'm not lying. Chicken Man, am I lying?
Why is this the first time that I'm hearing about a footless?
I thought you knew.
No,
Probably
I ain't
because
never hear about no footless person. Why? Because
Lord
he
Jesus.
has that phobia
Exactly.
of
That's
missing
something that.
appendages. So why would I think he would date somebody with a missing appendage? I
Why do
never
you think I'm not with that nigga now? Why you think that?
Oh
I
my
cannot. I
God.
cannot.
I
On that
never
note.
knew
On
that.
that note.
Yeah, it's crazy. So these insecurities run thick. It's got niggas faking whole limbs out here. So I get it. I get the point of wanting to have a filter. I do. But like Miss Lyric said, you eventually have to come out as the person that you are.
Exactly.
Or come off as the foot that you ain't got. So I mean, it just is what it is. And it wasn't, you know what? Yes, I do have the phobia about the feet. Or I'm sorry, but not, well, yeah, feet too, but I do have the phobia about missing limbs. However, I will say this person was charming and was nice, and we could have possibly even had a friendship, but it's because you started off the friendship, you started off our interactions with a lie. So I can't take you serious. I can't take anything. No. You know what? That proves the point. So just be realistic about who you are to people. Stop putting on these filters. Stop telling niggas you got feet and you ain't got no foot. Stop it. Anyways.
I know what we're talking about next week.
That wraps up this week's WRTR Real Talk Radio. Once again, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning in and listening to our crazy asses carry on. We appreciate you. All right, anything you need to say before we get out of here, Miss Lyric?
No, I'll save that for when the recording goes away.
Oh, hell. Chicken Man, got anything to say to the peeps before we roll out? Oh. Don't be licking your lips. What is happening?
Be yourself.
Oh. All right, y'all. Bye.
Bye.
Follow y'all.
WRTR Real Talk Radio.
This week's episode featured work from TikTok creators Chris the Author, Too Raw, Too Real 2, The Conscious Lee, Dane the Great, and I Am Lonnie B, using our platform to amplify your voices.